Hola y bienvenidos a Amores Patos Face the Disney Afternoon. Welcome to Amores Patos Face the Disney Afternoon. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm your host, Fabi. This is a podcast where two best friends get together and talk about the premiere of every show in the Disney afternoon.
Today we're talking about DuckTales 1987, Episode 5, the final part to the 5-part premiere, Treasure of the Golden Suns. This episode is Too Much of a Gold Thing. Yes, we have come a long way to finally finishing this premiere. My God.
It's been a journey.
It's long. I think, let me see, counting DuckTales, I think obviously we'll be recapping and reviewing every premiere of the Disney Afternoon. Including DuckTales, I want to say, oh wait, shit. Yeah, Chip and Dale also has a very long,
Yeah.
a multi-part premiere. I want to say it's 4 parts, or fuck is it 5?
I don't remember.
Because we didn't finish it.
No.
We started watching Chip and Dale.
Yeah.
At the worst possible time, we could have started watching Chip and Dale while we were very tired.
Yeah.
Waiting
And
for
we wanted to be watching something else.
Yes, we were waiting for a DuckTales episode to premiere. And to stay up, we're like, we gotta watch something.
Yeah.
And we thought Chip and Dale because they showed up in the episode. I'm like, why the fuck
Yeah.
are we watching Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers?
Because we were waiting for Double O Duck.
Yes. In Double O Duck, you only crashed
Yeah.
twice, which featured the Rescuers. Fuck, wait. The Rescue Rangers. It's not my fault that Disney has 2 franchises about rodents saving humans, and they both
Yeah.
have rescuer in the title. Or rescue.
They ran out of ideas. But yeah,
I mean, yes.
It was a wild time.
Yes, Rescuers. Fuck. Rescue Rangers is next. For our Disney afternoon lineup. After,
Yeah.
since obviously this is we're finally finishing up the premiere of DuckTales. After this, we will be talking about the DuckTales the movie Treasure of the Lost Lamp.
Yeah.
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 Which I'm going to put some sort of poll or post out, because I don't know what the general consensus is on this movie.
I don't know.
Right?
I feel like I don't even know how I fully feel about this movie.
No, the same. Like, I like parts of it,
Yeah.
but, I mean, yeah,
It's weird.
It's weird. We'll get into it when we get into it. We will do a deep dive into the DuckTales the movie, and which we have discussed at length and complained about, I think, ad nauseum. I think if you want a 15-minute recap of that movie, go listen to our review of Treasure of the Found Lamp back in season 2. Because we speed run the plot of that movie.
So now we'll just get to, complain in detail.
Yes. Yeah, we'll go scene by scene and complain about how you can watch this movie without having watched any single episode of DuckTales, because no other characters besides the main 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Launchpad, I can't count. 8, yes. No character besides the main 8 shows up in this movie.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. There's no Glomgold. There's no Magica. There's no Gizmo Duck. Nobody.
You don't need to know anything about DuckTales.
You don't need to know anything. This lays it all out for you. But I'm not going to complain about it anymore, because we'll have a whole episode to do that.
Yeah. Oh. This episode, man.
This episode. Yes, right. This episode. No, this is a good episode, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, it's very funny.
It is. It's very quick.
Yes. It's really fast, and especially like in the end when like the characters themselves are in a hurry.
Yeah.
You're just like, so much is happening.
So yes, so this is again, this is the finale. This is the the finale of this 5-part premiere, introducing us to Scrooge, the boys, this whole world, and the whole adventuring kind of gig that they're going to be doing half the time.
Yeah.
And where we left off in Cold Duck, which title is still remains a mystery to us, what that's supposed to mean. But do you want to give a quick recap as to what happened in Cold Duck?
Oh God, what did happen? Scrooge was floating down a river somehow. Made it to
when they were in the Arctic or wherever the fuck they were.
Yes, they were in. It's the Arctic, whatever. And Launchpad has to go, give him supplies so he doesn't die. But in doing so, he takes the kids' stowaway. That includes Beakley. And then they all end up, in the Arctic looking for Scrooge.
And they, there's various walrusi, try to eat them. Yes. There's penguins there in the Arctic who are obsessed with color. And so they have to fight them and deal with them.
Yeah.
And free Scrooge from the penguin prison.
Because he tried to steal, right?
Well, I think he showed up and he saw the map in their museum. Yeah. I'm not sure how far he got in trying to get the map before he was arrested.
And obviously they took away all of his clothes because they're colorful.
So he was left sitting alone in an ice jail, very depressed, before the boys and Beakley and Launchpad saved him. And they were chased.
And also, they were joined by a tiny little penguin girl, whose name I already forgot.
Skittles, like the candy.
Oh, yes. Who's cool, but like no one likes her apparently.
They're her friends, but then Webby's her friend.
Yeah.
And it's the only episode where Beakley contributes. Well, she contributes a bit in this episode, like intelligence-wise. In the last episode, she is a physical threat.
Action. Yeah. She somehow got like everyone's coats and clothes back.
I joked that she seduced the penguin guards. I still stand by that.
Yes.
And the gang is chased from the Penguin City by a prehistoric woolly mammoth.
Yes.
They escape in the plane and with a copy of the map. So supposedly they are going to the treasure of the Golden Suns. Kind of whatever that is. We don't really know what that is.
No. But they're headed there.
Yes, they're headed there. To the treasure.
Yes.
I hope that made fucking sense. If not, go back and listen to our recap of Cold Duck.
It's been a while since we recorded that.
It's been a month.
So we pick up this episode with that adventure. Specifically with El Capitan being a weirdo.
Yeah, who we haven't seen since Wrong Way in Wrong Way, right?
Yes.
Because that's the episode with Glomgold. He and Glomgold's boat is sunk. And they only save Glomgold.
Yeah.
We'll see. They thought this guy was dead.
Yes. But no, he is here. Yeah.
Where do we think? I assume he's somewhere like in the Amazon.
Yeah, that's what I think. It's very vague.
I don't think they actually tell us where we are. But I'm gonna assume that we're possibly in Central or South America just because of where the gold came from.
Yeah.
Which was like Central or South America. And then the Spanish took it.
Yeah.
What was the story that... Because I'm trying to figure out the timeline now. Because in Three Ducks of the Condor, Joaquin slowly ended up with just the medallion that his father or no, his great great whatever grandfather Marchand slowly ended up with, because his captain sailed away with the gold on the boat. The boat, that's the boat they discovered with all that gold.
With all that, yeah.
In wrong way and wrong way. So okay, no, this is the city then. This is like the city where they took the gold from.
Yeah, okay. So they're like the whole time El Capitan has been trying to get back to the city.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. This guy is the captain who was sailing the boat that got lost in that now desert.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he's El Capitan. Yes. Presumably he was the captain.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I figure I'm like, wait, what the fuck is this timeline? What is this? Okay. Yes. So okay, so the treasure of the Golden Suns is like our El Dorado, basically. It's our city of gold.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, listeners, for sitting through that.
Yeah. So I guess he's been tailing them for we don't know how long. Right? El Capitan.
No, like he's been kind of. No? It seems like according to the dialogue, he's kind of been hanging out. Like he knows the gold is close, and that when Scrooge shows up, Scrooge will lead him to it.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah,
because we see El Capitan.
And he is in a little like rowboat. Thing.
I was gonna say like his clothes. Like we talked about his like weird flasher. Like
yes,
his weird too baggy trench coat and like this low brimmed fedora. I don't know why he's wearing it. Like we know he's old as fuck. So
yeah, and he's also wearing like leather gloves.
Yeah,
I guess
like he's gonna commit a crime and he doesn't want to leave fingerprints.
Yeah. Or if like he's exposed to the sun, he'll just crumble.
Yeah. Like it's not really know. Yeah, he's saying that
he looks shady.
Yeah, he looks shady as fuck. And with his terrible, just drooping mustache.
Yeah, it's bad.
Would you say this is a good character design? Yeah, he's saying that once Scrooge shows up, Scrooge will lead him to the gold and he'll kill Scrooge. He like whacks his hand with his spyglass, and then he realizes that he whacked his hand, and he's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Pain.
I let him lead me to the treasure, and then, wham! Because I, El Capitan, deserve every bit of it.
There's a parrot. I'm going to assume they're in South America. They're in Central or South America.
The implication.
There's a parrot that flew away.
I see the parrot.
Okay, yeah. So whatever the Quacka River is, that's where they're landing. Is that a pun? Is that a pun on something? Could not tell you.
I know, no idea.
Yeah.
Scrooge is gonna go through a journey this episode.
Yeah, 20-minute journey.
Yeah.
Because we see Launchpad and the whole gang. They're inside the military-looking cargo plane from the last episode.
We pan up from El Capitan's whole deal. Yeah.
Sitting in a river talking about his gold. His gold! He has to find his gold! Was that a passable El Capitan impression?
I think so. I mean, you need to sound weaker, raspier.
That's true. My gold! My gold!
Yeah, that's better.
Is that better? Thank you.
Yeah.
The future as a voice actor is secured.
Hell yeah. So we pan up to this, military aircraft that's kind of like the Sun Chaser, but not.
Yeah, it's a lamer version of the Sun Chaser. Actually, no, it is, technically cooler, but it's lamer looking.
Yes. Because
I love that it opens up. But, like we said in the last episode, I love that it opens up, I don't know if real planes work like this, but I feel like it opens up like an action figure plane.
It does.
This is something you would buy. Yeah. I don't think they sold it, though. It's too boring looking.
Yeah, it opens from the front and it opens from the back, so you can shove all your little action figures inside.
Yes.
But yeah, so we hear that, someone tells Uncle Scrooge to calm down. You know,
is it one of the boys?
It's one of the boys, but who knows which one.
Who cares?
and that they're going to be at the Quacka River soon.
Yeah.
And he's pacing like inside, back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah. I love this. There's a lot going on in this shot where we
Yeah.
get the whole group. We have Scrooge pacing, impatient. Webby is reading the Junior Woodchuck guidebook.
Yeah.
I like that this is a trait that she keeps throughout the series. Like, it is the one thing that stays consistent.
Yeah.
Is that, and it's the one kudos I will give this show, is that the Junior Woodchucks are a co-ed scout club group. Webby is a Junior Woodchuck.
I love that detail.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching for the first time, I'm like, oh, okay. The bare minimum. So Webby's reading the Junior Woodchuck guidebook. Huey, Dewey, and Louie are pumping up a raft. They're pumping air into a raft.
Yeah.
I love just behind Scrooge, and Beakley's going through a checklist.
She has her clipboard. We don't know of what,
Yeah.
but she does have a clipboard.
Checking something off.
And the boys comment, I think it's Huey. Huey comments that like they've never seen Scrooge in such a state because he's like antsy and he keeps like scratching at himself and he's very just like jumpy.
Yeah, he's like saying that like after everything they've been through, Scrooge McDuck, deserves to find this treasure, and like waving his cane around.
After all the trouble I've gone through, I, Scrooge McDuck, deserve this treasure.
Wow, I've never seen him like this before.
I'm afraid, children, that Mr. McDuck is in the clutches of gold fever.
Gold fever? What's that?
Yeah, and the boys are like, whoa, all right. Because obviously these 5 episodes have not been extremely consistent. And Scrooge was kind of he was kind of barely present in the last episode.
Yeah.
So I feel this is a better segue straight from Three Ducks of the Condor, where Scrooge is much more treasure focused.
Yeah.
Because Scrooge isn't really present for like half of Cold Duck.
No, he's not. It's mostly everyone else.
Yeah. So he's because he's like captured off screen, and all that. So anyway, but yeah. So yeah, they have been through a lot. Like, yeah, just listen to our previous episodes.
Yes.
They've been all over. Well, not just I was gonna say South America, but they went to the Arctic or Antarctica or whichever one. So sure, so yes, technically they have been through a lot.
Yeah. And Miss Beakley, it's like I don't know how she knows about this, but she declares that Scrooge McDuck has gold fever. Yes. And she says it in a very like solemn tone, like he has gold fever. Like this is serious.
This is serious diagnosis. We are 2 minutes in and gold fever is a thing. And the boys have never heard of it.
And yeah, because why would you?
Somehow knows. Why does she know?
I don't know. That's why I'm like, how did she know so much about this?
Yeah, like, were you a doctor, Beakley? Like,
I don't.
What is your tragic and/or legal and/or mysterious backstory? It would make more sense if this was in the guidebook. Is it not?
Yeah,
like,
it would.
I thought it was, but maybe because I thought Webby was reading the guidebook.
Yeah, so then she like take a peek and then she's like, "Oh, this is knowledge I have. Yeah. I totally didn't read it."
But I don't know. Beakley explains that gold fever is when you itch for wealth, so much so that you forget what's important.
Yeah. And we see that, Scrooge is like itching at himself and he goes into the cockpits. On a plane term, yeah.
Cockpit, yes. To kind of bug Launchpad.
Yeah, he wants to rush him.
Yeah. And so he asks, like, so Launchpad tells him, oh, yeah, just past these waterfalls. But like it's not soon enough for Scrooge, so he presses down on some lever.
Yeah.
That makes the plane.
And immediately, like the plane does like go forward really fast, but it launches Launchpad and him like back to like the wall.
Yeah, against the wall,
like,
and like the card. Yeah, they get sent flying backwards. Because Scrooge uses his cane. I love like Launchpad uses his cane, the cane again, to pull the lever back instead of just grabbing it with his hand, which I guess is a fun. Oh, it's stuck, and that's why he's using the cane.
Yeah, and at this point, the plane is also like diving towards the river. Yeah. It's gonna land on El Capitan.
It's gonna crash on and kill El Capitan.
Yes.
And so El Capitan jumps into the water. And his boat is not destroyed, but the force of the plane passing just overhead like creates this massive wave that just capsizes the boat on top of El Capitan.
Yeah. So Launchpad is able to like kind of stabilize the plane for a bit. Yeah. And then it like skips and then lands on the river.
They have a bit of a rough water landing. They don't crash though.
No.
So good job, Scrooge. You just almost killed everybody.
Exactly.
Because the kids run in like, what just happened?
Yeah. And Scrooge tries to play it off like, oh, like he totally didn't just do this. He's like, oh, Launchpad seat broke. That's all. So Launchpad is like, yeah, sure, seat broke my tail fin. Like,
Launchpad is sassy the right word?
Yeah, he's sassy and like pretty competent this episode. Yes.
I think comparing him to like 2017 Launchpad. 2017 Launchpad is not sassy.
No.
And
not at all.
And especially, and I think a lot more of this Launchpad's, I wouldn't call it mean-spirited all of the time. Sometimes his comebacks are mean-spirited. But yeah, this Launchpad,
like bitchy.
Bitchy, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Like bitchy.
Because this Launchpad is, I think DuckTale original Launchpad is I think the most competent in terms of everything. Like this Launchpad knows when he's being insulted.
Yeah.
I think that's my basis.
Exactly.
Like Darkwing Launchpad and 2017 Launchpad would not know when he's being insulted.
No. This guy has an idea.
But as soon as Launchpad kind of makes this like comment about like, oh yeah, my seat broke, his seat then proceeds to break.
Yeah. So then Dewey like, I don't know, looks out the window and sees that they're caught in a current. So the plane is, like, moving down the river with them. And Scrooge is like, okay, then, like, let's get back, to the sky. Let's fly away. And Launchpad is like...
He mixes up metaphors.
Yes. And he's like, when the going gets tough, the harder they fall.
Yeah, sure, Launchpad. But also, like, Launchpad is wearing, like, the pilot headset, but it's very clearly not plugged into anything. Which I think is funny. Fun. Yeah, I mean, I would too, wear it just for fun. But, so Launchpad can't restart the engine. For whatever reason, it's not working. And as we learned from Emperor's New Groove, if you're on a waterfall, if you're on a river, you will fall off a waterfall.
Yes.
And plummet onto potentially sharp rocks at the bottom.
Of course.
As we also learned,
is there any other way?
As we also learned from a Goofy movie. And I love that a Goofy movie has that. Like, this is a wholesome father-son bonding road trip, and it almost ends with Goofy's grisly death as he plummets off of a bottomless waterfall.
Oh no.
Like, we didn't need it.
Sometimes.
Like,
no.
We got it. It's great. I mean, we'll talk about a Goofy movie soon. Well, eventually. After too many other shows. But like, in a Goofy movie, we're lulled into a false sense of security. Because we get that long song. We think the worst of it is past. And then, waterfall.
It's like the emotional turmoil is done. physical turmoil.
Yes, now to put these characters in physical peril.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
It's great.
Anyway, back to this less good. Nah, nowhere near as good as a Goofy movie Waterfall. I do like how they solve this, though. I think it's fun how they solve this problem of them plummeting off a waterfall.
Like, Launchpad is, like I said, competent. Like, he's actually thinking things through. Because he knows that he can't, like, take off because whatever reason the engine isn't working or whatever. So he's like, so if we can't, you know, go up, then we're going to go down. So he opens those hatches that we talked about, and he just lets, like, water come in to the, you know, aircraft, and it, like, sinks, and it just stays in the river, and it doesn't go over the waterfall.
Yes, it's a pretty smart plan. So, yeah, water's coming just straight in and out of the plane. Like, the whole cargo hold is open, because everyone is up in the cockpit.
Yeah.
And we'd briefly being like, the plane's sinking, oh my god. But no, they're fine.
Yeah.
Next shot, everyone but Launchpad is climbing onto a raft. But Scrooge is kind of being like, oh, to everybody else, like, oh, you guys sure you want to come along? I guess implying that he's, like, in the gold fever. He doesn't want anyone else to, like, be near the gold.
Yeah, steal a coin or something away from him.
Yeah.
But Beakley's like, oh, yeah, like, an archaeological... Oh my god, I can't say the word.
I believe in you.
Archaeological discovery is going to be, like, very educational for this group of children that we have with us. And also it'll be drier than this goddamn
situation. I would want to get the kids away from the plane that is still hanging perilously over a waterfall.
Exactly. So they go.
And he gives Launchpad the instructions to, you know, fix the plane. And Scoot is bringing a flare gun with them, and that which will fire when he wants Launchpad to come get them.
Yeah.
I love it. Beakley's the only one wearing a life vest.
Yeah. None of the children have one.
Kids? Like, it's like is it Michael Jordan? It's that the meme, the fuck them kids. That's basically the vibe. Like, Beakley's the only one wearing life vests. I guess there was no S&P, because I think now it's a rule in kids shows that, like, kids need to be wearing helmets on bikes. Kids need to wear life vests. They have to be physically shown to be putting on seat belts.
All good things.
Yes, to give a good example to the kiddies. But
here, no.
No.
Life
vests for kids. It's just funny to notice. So they're on the raft, and Scrooge is making the kids paddle while he's standing on the front like he's fucking George Washington, like saying stroke. Like, bro, how about you lend a hand? Adult man.
Just the kids.
Adult.
None of the adults do anything.
Adult duck man. But yeah, Beakley's also sitting there. But yeah.
And Louis calls him Captain Greed.
Yes. Burn. Good one, Louis. You could have called him Scrooge McDollar. Like, could have had fun with it. I don't know.
You know, kids say the first thing that comes to their mind.
Okay. But, so the implication that Scrooge is, you know, being greedier than usual and, like, more impatient than usual. Because they come upon what is a log.
No. It stops the raft. Scrooge doesn't have time for this.
Yeah, it's a giant fucking alligator.
It's an alligator.
Yeah, we didn't say it. It's an alligator. It's not the best looking alligator.
No.
Like, TikTok Croc from Peter Pan looked much better.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, this is like a 2-second...
This is just like the vague outline.
Yeah. And just like no teeth. This alligator has like no fucking teeth. But yeah, Scrooge is like, I mean, this is like the most badass Scrooge has ever been.
Yeah.
He's like, I have no time for this. And he sicks the oar inside the alligator's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And the alligator's just like, I guess you'll just die now because he can't eat anymore.
Yeah. Because he literally, like, mouth open, he just goes underwater. I'm like, that doesn't help your situation, but okay, goodbye then.
Okay. Thank you for introducing harmful, like, man-made items to this ecosystem,
Yeah.
Scrooge. Good job.
Mm-hmm. And Scrooge is proud of himself. He also calls the crocodile a reject from a luggage factory. Dang.
Dang. Burn.
Oh.
That is better than Louis' dig, though. It's more
They're just all one-upping each other.
It's more creative.
True.
But now more alligators are showing up in retribution for their fallen brother. And they're coming in from like all directions now.
Yeah, and I think Dewey's the one that says we don't have enough pedals for all of them.
Beakley blames Scrooge.
Yeah.
Girl, you're the one who wanted to come on the raft. Yeah.
And this scene kills me every time. Oh my god. Okay, so Beakley's like complaining, obviously, that this is all Scrooge's fault. She keeps telling Scrooge that he needs to do something. So we like get a shot of Scrooge pulling out a knife.
Pulling out a dagger. He's like, you're right,
yes.
I am going to do something. And he like, walks over to Beakley.
Beakley's like, I'm gonna die.
And then we get this close-up shot of Beakley's face, like Psycho. Like the Psycho shower scene. Close. And her thinking he is going to stab her. And feed her to the crocodiles.
Yes.
Alligators.
That's...
in front of the children.
Yeah, because she's like begging for her life. She's like...
And then we get a shot of Scrooge just raising the knife again. I mean, this is straight up just the Psycho shower scene.
I think
like the shot of her screaming face and then the knife.
Mm-hmm.
It's the funniest fucking scene.
Mr. McDuck, you've got to do something!
You're right, Beakley. I am going to do something.
Mr. McDuck, wait! Don't!
And then, but Scrooge just punctures a hole in the back of the raft next to Beakley.
Yes. And obviously, this being a cartoon, it means that the raft just takes off.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just...
Like, I forgot that was a scene. And it kills.
Let's not include that. Why? Why, like...
It's so funny.
Why, like
tease?
Tease? That's not the word. Why, like, pretend for half a second that Scrooge is going to stab another character?
Oh my gosh. I don't know.
It's incredible either way. It's the best scene of the episode.
Like, she really does think for a second that her life is
Oh,
over.
yeah, she screams with her whole chest. Like,
Yeah.
she thinks he's going to come over and stab her. That he is that far gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Oh my god.
But anyway, the raft does its best impression of a deflating balloon and kind of throws them onto dry land.
Yeah.
Oh, and Beakley apologizes for thinking that Scrooge was going to stab her. She's very casual about it.
Honestly, yeah. She's like, oh, I'm sorry I doubted you. It's like, I'd be like, oh my god.
I'd be like, girl, why was that your first thought?
What did you think was happening?
But Scrooge brushes it off because he only cares about the gold. Was that a better impression?
Yes.
Thank you. Like, I'm gonna keep trying to perfect my El Capitan impression.
Good. Yeah, you'll be perfect at it by the end of this episode.
I need to say it with the accent. I need to try to get the accent. But yeah, Scrooge is like, whatever, doesn't matter. I need to find the gold. And you see he's scratching himself again.
Yeah. And then Dewey, like, you know, calls to Scrooge and he's like, we found like this ancient pathway. it's like a stone path. He's like, that's, hopefully leads right to the valley.
And El Capitan emerges from nowhere.
Yeah.
Could he somehow follow them? Even though his boat capsized, and then they were, like, skipping over this river on their deflating raft. But
yeah, who knows?
Whatever. Maybe he put a tracking device on them.
Who knows? He's just very determined.
Yeah.
Oh, because Scrooge was like, let's go. What are we waiting for? And he's like, yes, what are we waiting for? And he follows them.
Yes. And then, we go back to the gang. Huey's like, wait a minute. Isn't it weird that there's a road to, like, some secret treasure cave?
Yeah. Yeah, like, why would there be a path to a secret thing? So then the boys realize that it's a trap. Like, at the perfect moment, because Scrooge sets off a trap.
Yes, this whole road is booby-trapped. And it's like a la, like, Ewok Village, like 2 logs slammed together. And almost hit Scrooge if the boys had not knocked him down.
And Scrooge tries to play it off like he knew that was gonna happen.
And he just let the boys knock him down.
Yeah.
They don't believe him. And then we go see what Launchpad's up to, which will happen intermittently throughout this episode.
Yes. He's trying to, like, I guess he says that he's trying to, like, anchor the aircraft to the shore.
Yeah, because there's, like,
and
this...
then pump the water out.
Yeah, because this whole winch system kind of emerges from the plane. And then, he's gonna hook it to shore. And he'll anchor the plane to shore. So that'll keep them from plummeting over the waterfall.
And then he inflates
this is another good joke. Damn.
Yeah. But what is it called? The
raft.
Is it also a raft? Yeah, raft. Yeah. But it's like a big donut, and he's like, I'm suddenly craving a large cup of coffee.
Yeah. Damn, it's another good joke.
This joke is such a boomer joke, the one that comes up right now.
Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate this fucking joke.
Because they come across some, stairs, some stone stairs, and Webby goes, look, an escalator. And Beakley is like, no dear, it's an older model. We have to walk up these. It's like...
I hate this fucking joke. It's so stupid. This is literally it's
people have stairs in their house.
It's like boomers existed, but like this is boomer humor before boomer humor existed. Like, oh my god, this is infuriating. Also makes Webby seem like a complete fuckwit.
Yeah, it's like
know what stairs are, stupid. Escalators are in malls. Like,
exactly. I was literally about to say
malls. Where the fuck else were there be escalators in the 1980s? Even today, it's just malls and airports.
Exactly. Nowhere else. No one has an escalator in their house.
Scrooge doesn't even.
God, the boys are right. Webby needs to shut up.
That was Tidham to live. And Scrooge, Scrooge wants to get up quick. He's, scratching himself again. And so they're climbing up the steps. And Louis, I think, has been counting. And so now it's like 200 and something steps.
Yeah.
No amount of treasure could make me climb that many steps.
Oh god, no.
I did breaks.
Always elevators. I don't want to walk down.
Oh my god. But as they're climbing, I think Dewey asks Beakley, our apparent resident doctor, nurse, physician's assistant,
expert,
why Scrooge has been so twitchy.
And Beakley, in all her expertise, is like, that's the next symptom of this gold fever. like, we must be getting close to the treasure. I guess the sickness knows.
Oh, like the proximity to gold makes it worse.
Yeah.
And I think I actually haven't mentioned yet that DuckTales 2017 references gold fever in the episode 87 Cent Solution. Although in 2017, gold fever is a made-up illness. And all of Scrooge's symptoms are engineered by Glom Gold, or are just a product of Scrooge being, Scrooge having a very high fever and a very bad cold.
Like, he's actually sick and he has fever, but it's not related to the gold.
Yes, yeah.
But watch that episode. It's one of my favorites. It's so funny and weird.
Incredible. I'm assuming if you're listening to us now, you have listened to our DuckTales 2017 recaps. If you haven't, we applaud you for listening to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely watch that episode, listen to our recap. I had to go back after watching this episode. I had to go back and check. Like, I second guessed whether I brought up that gold fever was from the original series.
Yeah.
But rest assured, past me did her research.
You did your job.
Yes.
You're not fired.
I'm not fired from the podcast. That was my idea.
Yeah.
All right. So so back to the episode. They've reached the top of the stairs and it seems to just end. Like there's just a wall.
Yeah. Yeah, it's this mountain. There's like a shrub. And Scrooge is like, I've come too far to quit. And he just starts to like, you know, look in the bush or whatever it is.
Yeah, because there's like the side of this. They've been kind of climbing the side of this mountain.
Yeah. And this door is so obvious once they actually plan to.
Yeah. It's like, I wonder if it's this less detailed, very obvious animation cell, which is clearly the outline of a door that the characters are going to interact with. Yeah, Scrooge, like...
But they get like this...
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
You can go.
Okay, fine. Yeah, so Scrooge, they find like this big branch log thing, and he has the boys help him pry this door open. Which they do. And, like, they're kind of... I don't know how this would work, but they're kind of flooded from light. They're flooded by light from the other side of this doorway. Gold light.
Yeah, it's so bright that it looks like a white entryway, and like Scrooge disappears into it when he walks through.
They're going to heaven.
He's dead. He walks off a cliff.
Yes. It's just a straight plummet.
Oh no.
And back to what Launchpad's up to.
So, what has he been up to? Yeah, he's like gently rowing down the stream. He's like floating to go hook anchor the aircraft, when he gets spooked by the snake in the river.
Yeah, I guess it's meant to, anaconda, right? Because it's this massive snake.
Probably, yeah. Yeah.
Row, row, row your hook, gently cross the stream, merrily, merrily, merrily. Yeah! A snake! No, I hate snakes! No, that's somebody else. I sort of like snakes.
He says the iconic words.
He's like, a snake? I hate snakes. And he's like, thinks about it. He's like, wait, no. That's somebody else. I kind of like snakes.
No, it's funny. He's like, well, no, yeah, I love his, oh no, I sort of like snakes. Do you confuse yourself with Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
I mean, yes, clearly. But is Indiana Jones... Well, so what is the implication? Is Indiana Jones a fictional character in the DuckTales universe? Or is he a real-life adventure man? Considering Indiana Jones himself was inspired from old Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge comics.
This is a terrible rabbit hole.
It
it's like
is.
A weird, cycle.
Yeah.
It's a movie. I don't know. I don't know this answer.
Well, Launchpad's gonna change his opinion about snakes because this one is now attacking him.
Yes. It like wraps around his legs and is trying to drown him.
I guess. But he's still holding on to the hook. And so the snake can't quite pull him far enough to, drown and eat him, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And he's like, oh, now I know what a worm feels like.
Yeah.
Funny jokes from Launchpad today.
Pretty good jokes. Yeah, I think my favorite of his jokes so far is still in the Fedex of the Condor when he finds the crashed Condor plane. And he's like, well, he'll never play violin again.
God.
That's still my favorite of his jokes so far. Terrible. It's horrible, but I love it.
No, that's reminded me. It's not a joke like now, but me screaming, and I don't mean Funicello, when the skipper at the Jungle Cruise said that was a net. It's like I became the skipper and gave him a joke.
Yes, I don't think we said we just went to Disneyland.
Oh yeah.
We kind of skipped. We skipped over everything and went straight into the episode for once.
I know. I know.
So, we're gonna deviate now. We're deviating now.
Yes.
Indiana Jones. We'll say it's Indiana Jones's fault.
Yeah.
But yeah, because the Annette Funicello, they make the Annette Funicello joke in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Phantom Blot episode. I can't remember what it's called. It has some completely unrelated title to the fact that the Phantom Blot is the villain.
I don't remember the name.
Yeah, because what Launchpad and Scrooge get a net dropped on them, and Launchpad goes, "A net," and I don't mean Funicello. And yes, our Jungle Cruise skipper made that joke.
Yeah. No, well, he said something a net, and I screamed.
Yes.
And I don't mean Funicello. Yes. Because the Jungle Cruise ride is the best ride.
And they made all the improvements. They added so much new shit. I'm still astounded by how much new shit they added. Yeah,
it's really good. And it's a ride, because we always ride it, in the dark.
It's always the best in the dark.
Yeah. So as a kid, I would always be like, well, you can't see anything, but it's no, you can. It also makes it better because it's spooky.
Yeah, and now so much of the new editions have lights themselves.
Yeah.
Because now there's the crash Jungle Cruise, there's the crash skipper boat with all the explorers, chased up the tree by the animals.
Yeah.
They've finally taken out all of the racist stuff.
Good, finally.
They have the monkeys the chimpanzees that have taken over the boats.
Yes.
There's a small thing of the chimpanzees with a net and that's what the net joke is.
That's what it was.
Yes. And he's has butterflies. And then there's the Trader Sam's shack that has been taken over by the little monkeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so much new stuff. Really nice. And obviously top of the line animatronics, so they all move and look great.
Yeah. Good.
I love going on that ride at night when it's dark. My feet are killing me. I'm delirious from exhaustion because every joke is 10 times funnier.
I cheered so loud at the backside of water.
Oh yeah, I think half of us were losing it.
Yeah. Because it's so good.
Because it's always the backside of water and just outright screaming our heads off. It's incredible.
Yeah, Disneyland's good.
Disneyland's good. I have to go again when Fantasmic is back.
I know. Yeah. Oh my god. Luckily Anna told me that Fantasmic was not going to be available when we went. Because had I found that out, when I was there, I think I would have cried really hard.
I think so. I think you would have.
I just would have been crying.
You were prepared. You were emotionally prepared.
Yeah. I think and we got to do other fun stuff instead. But yeah.
I think it goes back May, right? I think that's what I told you.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. And, like, I've never been, because I always hear, you know, Disney people, especially, like, Disney World people being like, oh, you know, this parade, that, or whatever. I've never been a parade person, but the parade that they're coming up with, I'm just kind of like, I'm intrigued.
I don't think I know what parade. Not because I know the electrical parade's coming back, which I'm excited for. Because I love lights in the dark.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, I want to see that. I'm like, okay, I'm good. Because the other parades that I've seen are just like little things, you know, like a midday, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, meh.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna wait here for that.
No. But yeah, Fantasmic is a lot of fun. Like, I like it, but like I also hate it because it's always at night, and that's always when I'm at my most tired and the most susceptible to being cold.
Yeah.
It's like we're sitting on the ground.
Yeah.
But I am excited to see it again. Mickey,
I always cry.
Yeah, you do, yeah. It's fine though. It's nice. I just love just the exhilaration of Mickey shooting fire out of his hands at this 30-foot Maleficent dragon.
My favorite part is the Pirates of the Caribbean boat
Every
showing.
time it's like a shock when the the pirates,
the cannon goes up.
Trying to remember like the title of the boat. I think it's the sailing ship Columbia.
Yeah.
As our pirate ship, just appears out of the mist.
Yeah.
It's so great every time. It's like, whoa, my God.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. All right, was that enough of a detour?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else we can discuss about our Disney experience?
Disney. We don't know if this is a controversial take, but Star Tours is a better ride than
Smuggler's Run.
Forgot the name of
Smuggler's Run.
Yes.
Yes. Because did we go straight from Smuggler's Run to Star Tours?
I think.
Or
we had lunch.
Yeah. Yeah, we did Star Tours after Smuggler's Run. And it is such a better experience. We got like the wild Boba Fett. Like,
okay, yeah. Because I don't know if I talked about this ever on the podcast, but for the past how many years Star Tours has been back, I've always been in the same room.
Yes.
Every single time,
you keep getting
like
the same
one to the right, all the way to the back,
and always the same.
It's usually always like either the whole same one or like half of it is always the same one. This was the first time that I got a full, like, different story. I was so hyped when we saw Boba Fett. I was just like, hell
it was crazy because do we get? Was it Wookiee planet and then Gungans and then Boba Fett?
Yes. Yeah, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
Because the day I went, we didn't even do Smuggler's Run because we just who cares? Yeah, that's my hot take.
Yeah, no, it is such a better experience. Like, I think Rise of the Resistance is still the best ride right now because brand new, crazy good effects. That one's incredible. But yeah, Smuggler's Run, I mean, especially compared to that, Smuggler's Run is like garbage.
I feel like I've always, whenever I go on it, something goes wrong. Like, I've never been on it and like have nothing not happen.
Yeah.
I'm just like, like, I guess thanks for the extra ride, but
yeah, I mean, it is fun the first few times to what is it? Pull the hyperdrive, go into hyperdrive. I'm a bad Star Wars fan. I can't remember the terminology. Anyway, it is fun a few times, but then after that, it's like, oh, the rest of this ride kind of sucks.
Yeah. It's like, and if you get stuck with like another family, you're like, of course I need to let the little children
have this experience. Yeah.
But yes.
I think that's enough of a segue. Good job, us. All right. Back on topic.
DuckTales.
So Scrooge and Co. did not plummet off the side of a cliff.
No. They finally made it to like the Valley of the Golden Suns. Yeah.
And
it looks pretty cool. Like, I like the design. It's, very like a bowl, basically.
Yeah.
And it's a grassy, and there's like these giant gold suns plastered around the side of the valley.
Yeah, like all inside the rim of it. And these things are massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like we really get the scale of them when we pan out and we see there's one just below where they are because they're like on this tiny little like kind of cliff thing. And right below them is one of they call them giant discs. But these things are so big. They're like 100 feet across.
Yeah.
They're big.
Huge.
And they
like
yeah.
Scrooge is able to calculate that they're about like 2.3 tons.
Yes. Each.
They're huge.
Yeah.
Each.
Yeah, solid gold, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Scrooge is losing his little mind.
It's more gold than is in all of Fort Knox, and it's all mine. He like rubs his hands together sinisterly.
Yeah.
And Scrooge, insane man, jumps on top of this thing and starts jumping up and down to shake it loose.
Yeah.
Even though it is hanging at the top of this valley. Like, this valley that, it's a valley. It slopes downward, however many feet. Like, they're at the top of the mountain. They're at the rim of this mountain.
Yeah. And he's trying to shake it loose, but it's like, no.
Yeah, because they have no way to transport this thing.
Yeah.
And this is where Beakley's like, oh, the gold fever is getting worse. And I don't know why they do this. They also jump onto the coin, but to like do something to stop Scrooge.
Yeah, because like Louie and Dewey go to like help Scrooge, and so Huey and Webby and Beakley kind of are, the ones that are like, he needs to stop. But then they also get on it, and then in doing so, they knock it loose. And they just, plummeting with the coin.
It's a pretty intense, like, plummet. Like, we see it, like, or they sever from the side of the mountain and start sliding down. Like, they are falling sharply.
Yeah.
That Beakley calls for someone to help them, and it's like, girl.
Yeah.
Who?
Who's gonna help? Oh, God. And we see that it's like destroying because it gets kind of to the. I already forgot.
It like levels out because, like you said, the valley's bowl shaped.
There's a geometry term for that, but I don't fucking remember.
Ugh, I haven't taken a math class since high school.
Point is that it's kind of just like sliding and it's destroying like trees and everything, and they're just, it's not like slowing down at all.
Yeah,
they're just going really fast.
Yeah, and they see that so they are just gaining speed because they just slid down the side of the mountain. And they say they're coming up on the structure that's right in their path. It's covered in like vines and plants. And they realize they need to jump off this thing. Or because they're crashing, they're gonna crash straight into it. Yeah.
And Scrooge refuses. He like grips hard and he's like, no, I'm not like, abandoning this coin. And the kids are, like, we're gonna crash. You need to get off of it.
So Huey, Dewey, and Louie and Beakley all clasp hands, and Dewey's holding on to Scrooge's ankle to drag him along.
And yeah, I guess they've managed to. I guess at one point the coin is just flying because that's what it looks like. When
whatever they're sliding on, it goes airborne. Like, it slides off whatever ground it was on. Yeah. I guess. And crashes straight into the structure. Mm-hmm. And makes a very distinct bong noise.
Yes.
Bong? It can't be! It just can't be!
I love
Scrooge recognizes that sound.
Yeah, Scrooge says, bong?
And he like leaps to his feet and is like running, like he's like tripping because he's running so fast. Because he knows that means that the thing it hit is also gold. Because that's like how he like knew that it was a solid gold coin because of that noise.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he runs up to the structure. He's like ripping the vines off of it. And Webby's like, "Is it the gold fever?" to Beakley, and Beakley's like, "Yes, it's getting worse." I'm not gonna use any of the actual episode like clips. It's gonna be me narrating for every character. I hope you like it.
It's a radio show now.
Yes.
Let's go. And then we go into a joke that makes me laugh every single time. It's so stupid.
It's stupid.
But Scrooge tears away enough stuff that he can see like this glow of gold. And he says, "Pluck my tail feathers and call me Baldy."
Terrible.
Oh my God.
No, I will not. Scrooge is like, "The big sun discs are worthless compared to this." And the boys are like, "What?"
What is it, Uncle Scrooge?
It's gold! An entire building of gold!
And this is when Scrooge now starts hiccuping in between his words.
Like a drunk man in an old cartoon.
Yes, you're right. This is the end of the Dumbo pink elephant scene, or the beginning. I haven't seen Dumbo in a long time.
Don't even start me with that scene. It terrified me as a child.
It's horrifying. But
it's horrifying in Phantasmic, by the way, also.
Oh God, that's right. I think it's meant to be there, right? It's like the spooky magic.
Yeah. It is. But I was like, stop.
But so the structure is it's a building made of solid gold, or it's a building. Wait, yeah, that makes sense. Sure.
Yeah, it's solid gold.
And
And Louis like, whoa, is this the treasure that we've been looking for then?
And we see that they cut to them having cleared a bunch of vines away. And we see there is a gold sun, like, coin disc entrance. Like a door. That's, like the coin itself.
Yeah.
Wait, that doesn't make sense.
And,
like the coin symbol is on the door. There we go.
Yes. And Scrooge is already making plans to like melt this entire thing. And
make a solid gold Statue of Liberty.
One for each day of the week. And his eyes go kind of like crazy for a bit because he's so, I don't know, hopped up on gold fever. Yeah,
and Beagle tries to like bring him back to his senses. He's like, shouldn't we contact Launchpad? And Scrooge is like, oh yeah, sure. And he pulls out the flare gun.
And he's like, he shoots the flare, and then he's like, there's no way that idiot is gonna miss that. Idiot misses that.
To his credit, Launchpad is currently underwater.
Exactly.
Trying to, where a snake is trying to drown him.
Yes. He's still holding on to the hook, so he's, not dead, but, it's close.
And so the snake is trying to, yank him free of the hook, but, like, finally the resistance is enough that, like, does it pull his pants and, it pulls his pants and his boots off.
Yeah.
And he's able, so the snake gets stuck with just the pants and the boots, and he goes flying.
Yeah. And now he's hanging, from the hook, like, on the waterfall.
Yeah.
But at least he's not, snake food.
Yeah. And he's in his boxers now.
Yes. And he declares that now he hates snakes.
Yes. That was Launchpad's character arc this episode. Give it up for Launchpad's character arc, fellas.
Woo! So we go back to the gang, and they're finally, opening these doors.
I do like the shot of the, like, as they enter the temple.
Yeah. It's like this... how do you describe it?
So it's solid gold, and so it's like gold bricks as the floor.
Yeah.
And in the middle of the room, there's like a little mini kind of structured temple thing. And we see steam kind of wafting out of it.
Yeah, and there's like vines from some of the walls.
Yeah, I mean, it looks nice, and like set
Yeah.
in the very far wall is a large, another gold sun disc.
Mm-hmm. Looks menacing.
It'll be, yeah.
And it's like it's solid gold, so the kids are commenting that they didn't even think that there was this much gold in the entire universe.
And then we get a symptom of the gold fever that lasts briefly, but makes, I think, a large impact.
I like the subtitles. You describe perfectly what's going on.
It does,
Because
for
we
one.
see Scrooge. Yeah. Acting like a little cat. He's like purring. He's like rubbing
Himself against the door, and then he's like rolling around on the ground. Like Scrooge briefly becomes a cat boy.
Yes. I can't believe you said that. I hate that thought.
I mean, before cat boys were a thing, so could we say that Scrooge originated the concept of cat boys?
Is Scrooge McDuck the first cat boy?
Yes.
This is a YouTube essay in the making.
5 hours devoted to this.
Oh god, I hate that.
I'll pull up comic book references. I'll find the source.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's awful. I'm glad it lasts very briefly.
Uncle Scrooge? Are you all right, Uncle Scrooge?
Am I all right? Am I all right?
Webby kind of goes up to him and is like, "Are you okay?" And Scrooge stops. And he's like, "I'm fine."
He doesn't say I'm fine. He is jumping around. He is dancing around. He is heeing, according to the subtitles.
Yes.
He dances into like the little mini temple that has the steam coming out of it.
He calls Webby his little doubloon.
Which is cute, but
yeah.
Like, no.
He's gone.
He's gone. He's too far gone. Smash cut to some dead bodies.
Hell yeah.
There are 4 duck skeletons in this mini temple.
Yeah. It's like, are you in an ancient ruin if there aren't any like dead bodies lying around?
I think not. There need to be some skeletons.
Yeah.
And I love that they're all ducks, because you can see you get the duck bill. It's great.
Yeah.
And they're all kind of gathered around this what looks like a well where the steam is coming out of.
Yeah.
I love the kids are like, "Whoa, what happened to these guys?"
I'm like, they're dead. They're dead. They died.
They died. They're just bones. They're just bones now. Who knows? But Beakley knows. So fucking how.
It's gold fever.
She's pulling this out of her ass. The rest, sure. Scrooge is openly, having symptoms. These are just bones, Beakley. The fuck do you know?
Cindy! This is a skeleton! This is bones!
She's immediately no, they died of gold fever. Nothing else could have happened to them.
Not starvation, not dehydration, gold fever.
Absolutely not. Gold fever.
And this is the first time I think she's actually specifically said to Scrooge, "You have gold fever." Right? Because everything else she's been saying kind of as an aside to the kids.
Yeah. She's been explaining to the kids what's going on with Scrooge, but this time she's like, if you're not careful, you're also gonna end up as bones.
The final symptom of gold fever. Bones.
Bones.
When Scrooge just disrespecting the dead, he's like, "Nah, I'll be fine." He doesn't believe that gold fever exists. And he whacks one of the intact skeletons, and it turns to dust.
Yeah.
That was a person, Scrooge. I think you're disturbing a
Scrooge
grave.
does not care. Yeah, this is like their grave. Oh my god.
That is consistent with DuckTales 2017 Scrooge's characterization.
I was gonna say, wow. Can't believe they translated that very well.
Oh, he's disrespecting the dead. Though it is actually treated with horror and disgust in 2017.
Yeah. Oh my god.
What was it? The something summit of Mount Everest. I can never remember the adjective that they put there.
I can't either. I just noticed the Mount Everest episode.
The impossible summit of Mount Everest.
Oh, see, in my head, it's the unclimbable
Me too.
summit of...
I'm like, that doesn't sound right, but it does, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
I learned way too late that Mount Everest was a reference to Tailspin. Mount Everest is mentioned once in the 1991 series Tailspin. Because I was watching the series, I finished it, highly recommend. I was just watching episodes, la-di-da, and Baloo flies to Mount Everest, and I wanted to die.
Oh no. I think also that episode, I don't remember if we actually, talked about it that episode, because I remember that I found out later that, like, the person was actually, like, the duck, his friend or whatever, ex-friend, was actually based on a real person.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think we knew that at that point,
No.
because I later watched an episode of YouTuber Caitlin Doty, Ask a Mortician, that she talked about, like, how many dead bodies and, this, like, intense death-related history in Mount Everest. And she, like, talked about the guy.
Oh, did he die?
I was like, oh my god. I don't remember. It's been such a long time since I saw it. But I was just like, I think he did die. But I was like, oh my god, like, they didn't even change the name that much. It's like, we should have known.
It was George Mallardy. I think it was a George Allerdy.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I was like, oh.
I love it. They're like, oh, this dude's been dead for like 100 years. We can make fun of him. We can make him a jerk. It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, I was like, oh, oopsie. Sadly, we don't, know everything.
Sadly. I mean, clearly the fact that I missed that is a fucking Tailspin reference.
Yeah.
I had to just come upon it like some fucking noob.
I just imagine, like, you like fall to your knees like, no, I should have known the lore.
Like, years of academy training wasted. That was basically my feeling. Like, I had to pause the fucking Tailspin episode to have a small breakdown.
Oh no.
I learned the truth. Like 3 years too late. Oh god, like 4 years now. Fuck me.
Oh god. Oof. We've been doing this a long time.
Oh my god. Don't mention it. Don't bring that up. Alright, anyway. Scrooge disrespecting the dead.
Yes.
Desecrating graves.
Oh no. And Huey almost falling into this thing, like, well, that we think it's, they call it a duct.
Because Huey's, like, leaning in, like, oh, what is this thing? Because it's where the steam's coming out of. And Scrooge just brush it off. He's like, oh, probably just a heating duct.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Mm-hmm. But, because he only cares about the gold.
Yes, yeah.
And
He's like,
I
oh,
don't know
like...
if you mentioned it, but he keeps rubbing his hands, like, a lot. Like,
yeah, like, those signature greedy. Like, he's rubbing his hands together because he wants money in between them, or whatever the fuck.
And is also rubbing her hands.
I'm rubbing my hands with
very evil.
I'm rubbing my hands with lotion. I have eczema. But Scrooge is like, forget about the bones, kids. Don't you want to know what's behind those doors in the courtyard? Because there were some, like, closed doors. And the boys were immediately won over.
Yeah. They also, like, itched themselves before running off with Scrooge.
Yeah, like, is gold fever contagious? Like...
Yeah.
I guess. But only the girls have common sense. They're the only ones.
The girls are not greedy.
Yes, they're the only ones not swayed by the gold. And Webby notices something that nobody else did, which one of these bones, one of the skeletons, like in its last moments of life, carved a warning in the gold somehow. Or I guess they wrote. Or it's a. I was gonna say it's a marker, but these bones are old, so markers probably didn't exist.
I think he has like a. It's either like. Maybe like charcoal.
I didn't say that's the charcoal, yeah. Because I love the skeleton is still holding it.
Yeah. So you know that it was him or this person was the one that wrote it.
Yes. So they drew this warning, and it's all like pictograms, not words, very conveniently. In case they didn't speak English, they made some helpful drawings.
Yeah, and it's like a duck person, some bags of gold, I guess.
Like 3 open doors.
Yeah.
The sun, and then like a dead face.
Yeah.
With like the X's for eyes and the tongue stuck out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, not good. Something not good's gonna happen.
No. Webby checks the Junior Woodchuck guidebook to translate the drawings.
Yes.
Which,
smart.
Yay. This is
claps.
Yay for Webby. Does this redeem her for calling stairs escalators?
I guess.
Because I think she does translate, or at least with Beakley's help, she does translate it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that redeems her.
Okay. So Scrooge and the boys open the first door in the courtyard.
Mm-hmm. And it opens to this like massive room full of gold dust,
which sounds horrifying.
Yeah, it does.
Like, how fine is it? Like, is it? I guess it's just like sand, but I hate the descriptor of dust. Yeah. Because what if you get gold dust in your eyes? Would you go blind? Like
you know how like super fine glitter?
Yes.
But like that kind of glitter that like just sticks.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like.
That's what I'm imagining. I'm like, if it was like sand, that's one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of seems like sand, but also makes clouds of gold, like
if it's fine enough to do that.
Yeah, which I don't like.
I don't know.
And they're playing in it like it's sand.
Yeah, I don't like the idea of breathing it in.
No, yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like metal. It's metal in your lungs.
Yeah.
So bad.
And they're like Scrooge like rushes up to it and is like throwing it up, and they're like, I guess very pretty. It sparkles. And it's a lot.
Yes. And so I think by this point, Scrooge and the boys are all hiccuping.
Mm-hmm.
They're all in the throes of gold fever.
Like, the movements are very, like, erratic.
Yeah.
Because Scrooge is like, I need to see more, and he's, like, wiggling around, and it's, like, very kind of distressing.
It is. It's stressful to look at. Because they run out of that room, and they open the second door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Scrooge is like, like, these are my kind of people. And it's this huge room filled with, like, gold coins, like, just piles and piles of them.
And also, I think, one of the boys points out that it's like the money bin.
Mm-hmm.
That line of Scrooge's, these are my kind of people, it made me think about the people who presumably built all of this. And I'm like, just like this haunting realization that obviously they were presumably all killed by the Spaniards who invaded.
Mm-hmm.
Like El Capitan is a colonizer.
Yeah.
Presumably had a hand in murdering the people who built all of this.
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah, I was just
good.
Just thinking about that now. Anyway, Scrooge is swimming in money.
Yeah, like he does. It's very fun. And I like this detail of the boys go to join him and they can't.
Yeah, they land on the pile of coins very painfully.
Yeah. And I think Louis is the one that's like, oh my god, how does he do that?
I think I want to say it's the comic Just a Poor Old Man. or a poor old man, where the Beagle Boys steal Scrooge's money, and he tricks them into jumping in it to swim in.
Oh yeah.
And they just like destroy their skulls. It's not graphic, obviously.
Yeah,
but the implication is that like their brains are mush because he tricked them into doing this.
Yeah, because you fall from a distance into solid metal, like, not good.
Mm-mm.
Oh my god.
And
while they're doing that, we go back to Beakley and Webby.
And Webby is actually the one translating. So she is redeemed.
Woo, go Webby. Girl power.
I love, she's like, oh, there's something about the doors, greed, and death.
And Billy's like, okay, then it means that if you're too greedy and you open all of these doors, open all the doors at once, it's a trap. Like, you're gonna get killed.
Yeah. And they both realize, and they run out to go stop Scrooge and the boys, just as they're opening the last door, which they do open. And yeah, so the third door opens to a room full of just gold bricks, like loose, stacked gold bricks.
Mm-hmm. And when they open the door, we see that like that giant gold coin like tilts.
Yeah. Yeah, it's turning like there's mechanisms hidden behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think the building starts shaking.
Yes, like violently shaking. And Scrooge pays no mind. He's literally just imagining building a new money bin out of these solid gold bricks.
Yeah. Until the shaking of the building makes one of the bricks land on his head.
Yes. Oh my god.
And then he falls. He's knocked out.
Yes. And so then the big coin completely does like a 45-degree turn, and all the doors lock. All the doors that they open lock.
Including the entrance, which locks, and then like a gate falls down to lock them in.
They're trying to resuscitate Scrooge.
Yeah, like Beakley has him on her lap. She's kind of fanning him. I love Dewey just kind of like lifting his foot. What's Dewey doing?
I don't know.
Because Beakley,
I don't know.
God knows.
She's telling him that they need to climb because there's no way out from a door, so they need to go up.
To which we hear a spooky Spanish accented person saying, "You're not climbing." Yeah, they're not climbing out of anywhere. And it's El Capitan with a gun.
Just pointed at them.
Yes.
You're gonna kill them.
Yeah. It's this. Is it it's shotgun? Blunderbuss?
I guess it's a shotgun.
Yeah.
But a blunderbuss is like a...
Yeah, it's the big. It's the wider, like, end. Which Scrooge uses in later episodes. But, so we hear El Capitan, and then immediately, the first thing we see is the gun. It's like the gun barrel, which, whoa.
Dang. And is this the first time we see him completely?
I think so.
Yeah. Because he doesn't have the goddamn trench coat on anymore.
He lost the trench coat, the hat, and he still has the gloves.
He's still wearing the gloves. Yeah.
He lost the trench coat and hat, and we see he's this terrible, like, shriveled looking dog thing.
Yeah.
It's like...
Just...
I mean, he has like as much hair as Goofy does, but because he's like flesh colored, it just looks really wrong.
He just looks old.
Yeah.
Real old.
And only the boys know who he is, so that they point out that he's the one who hired the Beagle Boys, and that they thought he was dead.
Yeah. But he's like, no, like nothing could ever stop me from finding my gold. And specifically, he says that he's waited 400 years for this.
And he speaks in third person also.
Yes.
It's that old man who hired the Beagle Boys. I tried to steal our aforementioned treasure ship, but you drowned, didn't you?
Ha! Nothing on earth could stop El Capitan from finding his gold. I've waited 400 years for this.
400 years? You're mad!
Mad? Of course I'm mad. I'm mad for gold.
So we cut to them, like, he's, like, at gunpoint forcing them into the well, into what we assumed was the heating duct. And Scrooge is still unconscious, so they are dragging Scrooge's unconscious body in with them.
Yes.
And this is when he says that, yes, he's waited 400 years.
Mm-hmm. And Bigby's like, no, like, you know, you're mad. It couldn't have been 400 years. Yeah. How did you stay alive for that long?
Sheer willpower, niños. That's what he says.
That's what he says. And he says that, yes, he is mad. He's mad for gold.
Gold. I'm going to put in that. Is it an Austin Powers quote?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'll put that in.
I love gold.
But yeah, that like his need to get the gold, his gold, because he has gold fever. Like his need to have the gold back is what kept him alive.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Like there's no actual explanation. He just refused to die.
No. Exactly.
I mean,
he's just that's greedy, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, considering Ludwig also, I mean, he just forgot to die. Like, death came knocking, and he had something on the stove, and so Ludwig just never got around to answering.
No. Oh my god. And so, El Capitan is lowering the basket that they're in, you know, down into this lava pit.
Yeah, what he assumes is a lava pit.
Yeah.
And so they're being dropped into this well thing. And Scrooge finally regains consciousness.
Mm-hmm. But he starts complaining that it's freezing. Which is, you know, they're literally like, there's steam coming, towering, and like, that's not possible. But of course, you know, it's a symptom of the gold fever.
It's the final symptom. Scrooge is on death's door.
Oh my god.
And Scrooge is Scrooge isn't home anymore, basically.
No.
He is not hearing or processing anything that's going on.
No, because he just starts sniffing, and then like the animation of his eyes, they turn like little like kind of like pinprick eyes, basically, because he smells gold.
Yeah, and then he starts shaking the basket around that they're in, and is like hanging off the side to the point where all the kids are like grabbing onto him.
Yeah,
like, what are you doing? But he's hanging off the edge, pointing down beneath them. At what is
just a lake of molten gold.
Ah, fuck. Is this
and he's
sorry, is this where fucking the Golden Lagoon of White Agony planes got it from?
Probably.
God damn it. Goodbye. I quit.
Are we both fired?
We're both fired. Goodbye.
Oh, no.
I quit. I give up. Fuck this.
Oh. We can't know everything, Anna.
Came back.
Sadly. You rehired.
I've rehired myself, yes. It's fine.
Yeah.
At least we got to see someone boiled in it in 2017.
Yeah. Here we just get teased.
Yes. God. Yeah, so they're dangling over this pit of just molten gold.
Mm-hmm.
Presuming that there's like a volcano underneath everything, which is keeping, you know, the gold molten.
Yeah. And like that's like, I guess, how bad the gold fever is. It's like he wants the gold lava. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't care
No.
that he's gonna die as soon as he touches it.
Yeah, he wants to jump in it. And I love this immediate bit of animation where Squid is realizing that this, or what do you think? He thinks he's coming to a realization that the true treasure of the Golden Suns is this molten gold.
Yeah.
And he like spins around the basket, and it's like the best animation of the episode.
It's good. It's like a nice, like, swinging dynamic animation that happens, and like everyone kind of threatens to fall off of it as well, like, off of the basket.
I think this whole like next few minutes is like the best animation we'll get in the whole series.
It's really good.
Because a couple of these bits obviously are used in the title sequence, in the intro.
Yeah.
Like what isn't like pulled directly from this is partly from little bits from other episodes, but also obviously like animated inserts that are just used for the theme song and don't actually show up in the episode, in any episode.
Biggest disappointment.
Yeah, like Webby kissing a shark never happens.
Never happens.
Boys being hugged by a tiger never happens. Scrooge having a dollar taken by an alien never fucking happens.
When Anna was first showing me DuckTales, I wanted to see that episode, and I was really upset that it wasn't a thing.
I mean, we have aliens that take the whole money bin.
Yeah, so like that, you know, that made me feel better.
But yeah, so the animation, like there's shadows and stuff. Like for this whole, like I think next 2 minutes, where the animation is really solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's shadows. Like we see there's shadows on the Capitan. It's not just like, you know, just plain no shading or anything.
Flat, yeah. Everything is a little bit dimensional.
Yeah, it looks nice. Because he hears them talking and how there's the lake of molten gold down there. And El Capitan, in his gold fever madness, not realizing that the gold will still kill them just as well as a lava pit would. And they're not going to get any of it because they will be dead. He can't let them touch it. He can't let them be near it, even in death.
I think he specifically says that he can't let them taint a single drop of his gold.
This is the real treasure of the Golden Suns.
What was that?
There's more gold down here than in all the world.
No! It's my gold! Mine!
And so he starts pulling them back up.
And he forces them out of the basket now at gunpoint.
Yeah. He's literally like screaming that it's his gold. Like, I think, like as he's pulling them up, he's just saying like mine all over and over again.
And Scrooge has had enough. Scrooge doesn't care about the gun pointed at his face. He jumps out and confronts El Capitan that after all the bullshit he's been through, this gold is his.
Yes. And it's very good animation because we see him like kind of this fun angle of him, you know, going up to confront El Capitan. And El Capitan is still like pointing the gun at him, like, you're wrong, senor, it's mine.
And Scrooge pocket sands him.
I was gonna say yes, because he's like, you want gold here, and he pocket sands.
He throws it's a handful of gold dust that he just had. Yeah, throws it right in the Capitan's eyes. And he like gets the gun, like he points the gun up away from himself. But in their struggle, the gun fires.
Yeah. And then they start like fighting, like they're on the ground fighting, and again, like the giant gold coin turns again, and everything starts shaking even worse now.
I think now, the well behind them starts sinking into the ground. Well, it sinks into the ground and it plummets into the molten gold at the bottom. And now the entire floor is caving in. It looks really nice.
It looks really nice because it's kind of like a circular pattern around the well. Yeah. So the hole just starts getting bigger as all these gold bricks start collapsing inwards. And El Capitan and Scrooge are just fighting. Like, they're not paying any attention to this. Until
like the last possible second where they call a very brief truce. And they do run out. And we see that the mini temple, that's what the whole thing is collapsing in. It looks great. So like the mini temple that they were in, that sinks in too.
Yeah.
Oh god, we even see the bones falling too.
The bones are gone.
And I think this is
more of that floor keeps collapsing.
Yeah. And we see Beakley and the kids manage to climb onto a ledge, and Scrooge is still running, and we get this shot from the theme song. Where Scrooge and El Capitan are running as the floor collapses beneath them.
And as soon as they're like on the ledge, they just take like a tiny brief like, "Ooh, we're good," and then they start fighting immediately.
It's great, yeah. They both plop down on their backs like, "Oh, we survived." Look at each other, and then they start fighting.
Oh my god!
But the temple's not done with them yet, because now the walls are pressing them in.
And at this point, like, Beakley is like, okay, I've had enough. She grabs Scrooge, like, the walls are moving. We need to leave, you know? And Scrooge is not having it. He literally, like, tells her to leave him alone.
Yeah. And that he doesn't care, like, what's life compared to, like, the greatest fortune in the world or something.
Yeah, I think he just says, you know, that the biggest fortune is at stake, and she's like, okay, what's better than being, you know, a rich duck or a dead duck? She finally gets through to him.
But at the animation of him like struggling, she like grabs his beak to like shut him up, like, and like to force him to look at the walls, like closing in on them.
Yeah, that's when he finally like snaps out of it, like. He's gonna die.
He says quacka wacka, which is like what the boys say. Like it's their exclamation of surprise. Along with quackaroony.
Yes.
Which is cute. Or is it just a reference to the river?
I think it's a river reference.
Did the boys say quacka wacka? No, the boys say quackaroony.
Yeah. So I guess he modified it.
Yes, I've deceived myself. That's fine. But El Capitan doesn't care. He's prepared to keep fighting. Until the boys...
Yeah, he wants to settle it all.
Yeah. Until the boys... They tie him up with vines.
And Dewey just is like, okay, we can climb up off from these vines, you know? So they make their way up these vines and...
And they leave El Capitan down there, right?
Yeah,
like tied up. It's like, he keeps trying to kill us. We're not gonna help him.
Yeah. And he does not care because you see like the wall behind him is, you know, collapsing or, you know, like more like coming out. And as they're making their way up, Scrooge is like struggling and he's like actually like sweating. And he realizes that he's been cured of gold fever.
Yeah. He no longer has the symptoms. Which I guess he was aware of. He was aware that the symptoms existed.
Yeah, I guess he just didn't care.
I mean, I guess like while he was in the gold fever, he didn't care. And yeah, like the walls are, you know, pushing in like the trash compactor in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And so El Capitan is pushed off of the ledge because there's no more ledge, and he's dangling over the molten gold just by the vine, and he is just loving it. He is euphoric, like
like
the gold,
his gold. Yeah,
it's all. I can't do a Spanish accent.
But you're good.
What are we gonna do about the Weezer? He looks happy.
Look at all the pretty gold.
No, we've got to save him.
My gold. Leave me with my gold.
Yeah, so I think Huey's the one that says, like, what are we gonna do about this guy?
Yeah, I love that I think Dewey's like, he looks pretty happy.
Yeah.
But, like, clearly, like, it's not a good thing that he's happy because he's dangling over this pit of molten gold that will kill him.
Yeah.
Like, he's clearly
like
insane.
Twirling. Yeah, he's just like obsessed with this gold.
I love that Scrooge is determined to save him, though. Like, Scrooge is the only one who, he's alone, I think, pulls him up the side
he's
of
the one that's like, no, we have to save this guy, and he does it, and El Capitan is not happy.
No, he's just like squirming on the ground, like, no, my gold. But they can't signal Launchpad because there's no more flares.
Luckily for them.
I mean, yeah, they don't know. They don't know. Luckily, but luckily for them,
yeah.
Like, so the whole valley is rigged with some hidden mechanisms.
Yeah.
And which makes it so all of the coins, like all the massive coins surrounding the valley, tilt up to catch the sun.
Yeah.
And serve as a kind of magnifying glass somehow. Or like redirecting, like or like a mirror.
Like a mirror, yeah. And they all like converge into one.
The building in the middle.
The build specifically like the lava pits, the molten gold, and I guess they heat it up even more, and that just makes like a geyser of gold shoot out.
And Launchpad sees it and thinks that it's Scrooge's flare. Which, good enough, sure.
Yeah, sure.
Launchpad apparently fixed everything all up just in time, and he makes a Star Trek reference.
Yeah.
He says, "Warp drive, Scotty," which, sure. I guess, he's starting the engine, though it would have been Sulu who would start the warp drive, but whatever.
Wow. Or were you treasurer of the Star Trek
Club? I was treasurer of the Star Trek Club. Thank you. But the engine doesn't start.
No. And he does not know, like, what's wrong, you know? So then we cut back to this building because Louis points out that the walls are getting shorter. But no, it's that, like, the whole building is being melted down.
Yeah. And so they're on the very top, but the building is sinking as it melts.
Wait, hold up. I want to look at something. The melting point of gold is 1,948 Fahrenheit. That's
holy shit.
Yeah. Holy shit.
Could a bunch of gold acting as mirrors? No, it couldn't.
It couldn't. No, it just couldn't.
Maybe if they had a big ass magnifying glass.
Yeah. But yeah, fun fact.
Bringing some chemistry, some chemistry logic to this.
Some chemistry logic.
Dumb DuckTales episode.
Also some physics because lenses and mirrors and all that shit. But so back to Launchpad that's struggling to turn the plane on.
Yes.
And then immediately back to the perilous situation because this, they're also on the thing that's melting.
Yeah. So they're melting more just to raise the tension even more. And Launchpad realizes he had the choke on the engine, which
I don't know what that means.
It's a car reference. It's not a thing that would happen on a plane. I don't think. I don't know shit about cars, but according to the Wikipedia, a choke valve modifies the air pressure in the intake manifold, thereby altering the air-fuel ratio entering the engine.
Sure.
I think it's just in cars. I don't think it's something in planes.
I don't know.
Anyway, it's at Launchpad he was making some silly mistake.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Webby's it's really hot, and I feel like Beakley's yeah, I mean, we're gonna die here.
The next scene is so fucking grim. So Launchpad manages to free the plane. He's flying to meet them. Scrooge and Beakley don't know that. And so they're standing on the rim, like it is, like, they're on the brink of being submerged in this liquid gold, this molten liquid gold. And they've each stacked the kids, like 2 kids each on their shoulders, so the kids can, like, live for as long as possible.
Yeah. Before they're dipped in, like, almost 2,000 Fahrenheit, like, hot. And El Capitan is just there, sitting on the ground.
He's just there.
Scrooge is apologizing, to Beakley.
Well, Mrs. Beakley, I'm sorry to have gotten you and the kids into this mess.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. McDuck. You couldn't help yourself.
No, but thank goodness you could. Goodbye, Beakley.
She's very forgiving. I would be so mad.
The way she says it is like, you couldn't help yourself. It's like, I mean, I guess, yeah, he did have a gold fever, but it is his fault. Like, I like that she doesn't say it's not your fault. It's like, no, it is your fault. You just couldn't help yourself.
Yeah. Like, they say goodbye to each other.
Yeah.
It's so grim. It's great. But then Launchpad arrives.
Yeah. But, like, just in time.
Just in time. Like, oh my god. And the plane's able to, like, hover somehow. Who cares? And they're all able to quickly board the plane.
And Scrooge grabs, El Capitan, and he does not want to go, but he can't. He's still, like, he still has a vine wrapped around him. Yeah.
And, like, just in time, because, like, the second that the plane takes off, I liked how it looked, because it was just, like, what's the word? It was just, like, not even, like, a square. It was, like, it was, like, the outline of the roof they were standing on.
Yeah.
And everything else was just gold, so it looked cool. And then that's finally submerged too.
And so we see this, like, as the plane starts to go up, like, the gold the whole time has been bubbling, like, big bubbles. And then we see another geyser, like, forms, and it hits, like, part of the plane.
Yeah.
And so Launchpad, like, it starts struggling with the plane.
Yeah. And as they're struggling, we see the whole valley starts caving in.
Yeah. Like, we see the giant coins, they, like, take out a chunk of, like, the valley, and they collapse into this, like, molten gold.
Yeah, so, like, everything is, like, the whole sides of the sides of the mountain are caving in into the molten gold. And we see everyone kind of, like, because Launchpad is struggling to maintain altitude with the plane, we see everyone kind of just tumbling through the plane, like, as the plane swerves wildly. But do you see how quick, so they're tumbling, like, through the plane as the plane's just swerving all over the place. And then they crash into the water like a fucking bullet.
They do it.
It's like a
so
split
fast.
second I was watching, and I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, like someone threw, like, a pebble. Like, it.
No, it, like,
it's very different from
dive
the first,
bomb,
like, landing.
like,
yeah.
But the plane it's like a tiny gold blur, and it just, like someone fired it from a gun. Lands in the water. It's kind of funny.
And it's pretty funny because it doesn't, like, it floats, basically. Oh my god.
But so they land, they're safe, and the Capitan managed to free himself in the crash landing. So at the crash, Launchpad crashed at least once. Woo! Though, was this his fault, though? Damn it.
No.
It doesn't count then.
Boo.
Damn it. Not one legitimate Launchpad crash.
Damn. This sucks.
I hate this shit.
This 5-part sucks.
Yes.
Damn. Oh, no.
El Capitan gets free, and he runs straight back up to the top of the mountain. But joke's on him, because, like, basically the whole valley caved in on itself.
I don't understand exactly how it happened.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess, like, all the dirt combined with the molten gold kind of just made this kind of flat level of just dirt. Like, almost up to the rim, and this was a deep valley before.
Yeah. And Scrooge is just laughing his ass off. Because, this gold is basically, he says it's buried under a mountain of dirt.
Yeah. And El Capitan is determined to dig it up. Mm-hmm. Which he starts doing. And he starts digging like a dog does.
Yeah. And he's, just determined. And the other people just look at him and they, like, shake their head and, like, what can you do about this man?
They shake their heads in sync. Like this is, like, a running gag we've had. But it's not. And they leave him there. They leave. Yeah. They leave El Capitan to his madness and to his next 400 years of digging.
Yeah, because Webby does, like, are we not gonna, he's gonna get to the gold. And Scrooge is like, maybe in another 400 years. Mm-hmm. And he's like, it's fine.
But yeah, Scrooge is like, oh, I have something better now. Like, I know what, like the important thing in my life to focus on, implying that it's his family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they're all happy that he's back.
Though that he does wish he'd managed to bring something back with him of the gold.
And so they're, like, walking down, the mountain. And Bigley is the first that notices that the entire plane has been coated in gold.
Yeah.
And that's why it explains that it was flying heavy, because it's now coated in gold.
I wonder, like, how would you go about removing it now? Would you melt down the whole plane? That's why we never see this plane again.
Probably, yeah.
It's melted down for the gold.
Honestly, yeah. And then you separate chemistry shit, whatever.
Sure.
But Scrooge is very happy.
Scrooge exclaims Mother McDuck.
Yes.
Which I think is his child-friendly way of saying motherfuck.
Oh my god. It's great. And they're now it's flying like pretty okay. I guess it's dipping sometimes, but Launchpad is in control. And
maybe they
fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Maybe they they got rid of some supplies.
Yeah.
And yeah, so they're flying home. It's actually a very nice sunset, like, that they're flying against.
Yeah. It's very nice. And, like, Scrooge is kind of relaxing now, because now he does have some gold with him. Launchpad asks him, what else are we going to do now? Like, what other treasure hunts are we going to go on? And Scrooge is like, don't even tempt me. Like, there's never going to be something that is as great as this whole entire treasure was. Yeah.
And Launchpad has to go and say, like, oh, I heard about gold doubloons off Java. And Scrooge is like, no, I'm down with treasure hunts. And then he scratches himself and asks, did you say gold? And hiccups.
And some unnamed boy, well, we know the name, but one of the boys is like, here we go again. As they fly into that sunset.
I told you I'm through with treasure hunts. Did you say gold?
Uh-oh! Here we go again!
With our last joke being that Scrooge is still susceptible to gold fever.
He learned a lesson, but not really.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
And that
it is a nice note.
Yes, it's a fun little note to end it on. And that is the end of the DuckTales premiere.
Wow.
Treasure of the Golden Suns.
Any thoughts?
I was going to ask you any thoughts. I have no thoughts.
I mean, just listen to all of these hours of content about this whole premiere. I think it's a good premiere.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah.
I remember watching this back, and I mean, obviously, I discovered DuckTales back in middle school, and I mean, this premiere was the first thing I watched.
Yeah.
And I think it was good. I think it does a good job of setting up, like, these are more important characters. This is kind of what they're about.
Yeah.
And I mean, I do think the rest of the show does expand on this premise. Like, we get lots of new characters.
Yeah.
We get everybody's favorite, Doofus. We get, I think, because we didn't see Ma Beagle, right? These episodes, we just saw the three Beagle Boys.
Yeah, we just see the Beagle Boys.
So we get Ma Beagle, who is, she is the best addition to the DuckTales Duck universe. She's great. Forgot about Gizmo Duck.
He's fun.
He's second best. Yeah, the fact that we'll get...
Which is funny, because, like, the Gizmo Duck arc was my introduction to DuckTales. And then I think I went back and watched, like, this actual introduction.
Yeah. So I think the Gizmo Duck arc, I think, is the best arc in the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because besides Gizmo Duck, you have this premiere, and then you have the Elba Duck premiere. Which is fine. I think it is more exciting than this premiere, than the first one, which, makes sense. It's later. But, yeah, I mean, I think this does a good job, and I think it does, it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid 5-part premiere.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
I wish Beakley was still cool, but it's fine.
It's all downhill from here for Beakley. But yeah, our last DuckTales thing we'll be talking about will be DuckTales the movie. Unless at the end of all this people request more DuckTales episodes. Mm-hmm. Like, maybe we'll do like the 5-part Fenton premiere eventually. Like a year from now.
Yes. We do need to move a little bit away from DuckTales, as much as we obviously love it.
Yes, and we will. Because after this, for terms of Disney Afternoon, we'll have the DuckTales the movie, and then we will finally enter our first non-DuckTales series.
Yeah.
Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Wow.
And after we cover those 5 episodes, we will talk about the Chip and Dale live-action CGI 2D animated hybrid that is coming out on Disney Plus in May.
Yes. Oh my god.
It's pretty good timing, I think, on our parts.
Yeah, perfect timing. I can't wait to experience that.
Yeah, I'm excited. Like,
yeah.
I'm hoping, like, it on the surface it does seem kind of like the next Roger Rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think we'll see if it can live up to the legacy of Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit is in the movie. At least in a brief cameo at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Which is more than he's had in several years.
No. Like, I'm intrigued by a lot of the pieces that we've seen of this movie. So I'm just kind of like, what's gonna happen? Am I gonna like this? Am I gonna, like, genuinely like this? Am I gonna like it ironically? This can go a lot of different ways.
It could be absolutely terrible. It could be okay. Or it could be the best movie ever. It could be, like, the pinnacle would be, like, the next Roger Rabbit.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. No, I think, just right off the bat, I love that it's, John Mulaney and Andy Samberg, it's just their voices. Yes. Like, it's just them. Like, they're just talking. Which is fine. It's great, which is fine. Because, as we'll get into when we actually talk about the episodes, Chip and Dale's voices are my least favorite thing about them. I can't stand their voices.
That's like a series that I really haven't seen much.
Same.
That's the thing. The episodes that I have seen, it was a weird experience watching.
Yeah, we watched them at the worst possible time.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted to watch something else. It was 1 a.m. And we were very tired.
Yeah. And, like, I didn't realize how, like, problematic some aspects of it were going to be. Because at least with, like, DuckTales, you warned me ahead of time. And, like, certain things of certain I did not expect it from,
Yeah.
from the Chipmunk
Yeah,
Show.
neither of us had any warning for the
No.
very abrupt transition to Chinese stereotypes.
Yes. So yeah.
So, yes. I will say the best thing about the Chip and Dale's Rescue Rangers is the theme song. It is incredible.
It's really good, yeah.
I'll give
A
them
lot of these
I'll
theme
give them
songs
that.
just go off.
They really do. I think the least impressive is still the Gummy Bears theme song.
I don't even remember it. Literally, my brain plays the Gummy Bear song.
Oh no!
Like, that's...
Yeah. I have had the Gummy Bears theme song stuck in my head for several days. I'm not saying it's, like, good. It's fine. Dashing and daring, courageous and caring. I don't know all the words. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Gummy bears.
I refuse.
Dashing here.
I refuse.
Wait, no. Bouncing here and there and everywhere. Wait. Something that's beyond compare. We are the Gummy Bears.
No.
I don't know most of the words. Right, I think we're done. I've started singing. We should end this.
Okay, we should.
Follow us on Twitter at Amores
Yes.
Patos. That's where we post basically all of our news if you want to know what's up 24/7. Not 24/7. You know, whenever I feel like posting. Just follow us on Twitter or on Tumblr.
Yes.
Also at Amores Patos.
I don't know, send us an email at amorespatospodcast@gmail.com.
We have a merch store. Check that out if you ever want to just help us out or check out some of our merchandise. I work very hard on it.
Yeah.
We do have a couple DuckTales 1987 DuckTales 1987 shirts or designs. Most of our designs are DuckTales 2017, though we do have about 3, I want to say, that are 1987.
I'm wearing one of the shirts right now.
You are?
Wait, I am.
Oh my god.
It's my favorite one.
Oh my god.
The do not eat the toner.
Yes, it's Donald and Don't Eat the Toner. Yes, thank you. The safety movie.
Yes.
I'm so glad. I need to buy that one.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
I have to wear them together to Disneyland.
Yes, more matching outfits for us.
Yes. So we have to wear our Glom Wheel shirts first.
Yes, that's our bestseller.
It is. I'm so glad.
Glom Wheel shirts.
It was our first shirt, and it's like our bestseller,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time. Anyway, thank Michael and Spintrick for our lovely cover art. And, at last, saludos amigos.
Saludos, amigos.